Family, welcome to the surface code. Quick on this surface code, we want to take a look at Dr. Abel Damina, who talks about his spiritual father. He's got, I don't know, he explained better in this video about his spiritual father who abandoned him after he started preaching Jesus Christ. Yeah, one of his spiritual father. From the beginning, they asked that, okay, you have a spiritual father. Who is a spiritual father? They said Michael Kunkwo is a spiritual father, and Pastor Orise Jafo is a spiritual father. But one went solo on him. One stopped talking to him. They stopped picking his calls, which is Pastor Orise Jafo. Is the one who doesn't speak to him, because he said after he started preaching Jesus, he called him and said, this one you're preaching Jesus, I will not call you again. And he said, okay, you will call me. I will call you to preach for me if you don't call me. And he said he still keeps the relationship. He's a good father to him. He still calls him, but he doesn't pick his call because he started preaching Jesus. But he said in times of core doctrine, Michael Kunkwo is still there for him. He said a lot of people report him to Michael Kunkwo, but Bishop Michael Kunkwo always tell them, don't just listen to the cut part of the video, the short clip. Make sure you listen to everything. And he said whenever they go there to listen, they come back. As what am I saying? Watch the video where he explain better. Watch.
Papa, many people have been asking, do you have a spiritual father? Who is your father?
I have a spiritual father. I mean, I'm not fatherless. I have a spiritual father. I have someone who holds me accountable. I have someone I listen to. I have somebody who checks me. I have somebody who speaks into my life. I have somebody I relate with, and I have other people too, who we discuss doctrine, who we look at doctrinal issues with and study together with and all that. So yes, I do.
Okay, many people are wondering because they have this perception that Dr. Damina is the only one that is speaking the truth. So who then can be his father? I mean, that's the
sure.
impression.
I've said it many times. Bishop Michael Kunkwo is the person I look up to as a spiritual father.
Okay.
I've said many times.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Great.
And many people report me to him. I only can imagine, what he goes through in the hands of people who are looking forward to report me who don't listen to me. And he tells me, he always tells them, don't just take what you hear on social media. Go on his page, go to Abel, go listen to the whole teachings. And when they go, they never come back asking those questions.
Okay, so I remember there was a time that you said he is your spiritual father, and people were also asking questions. For example, you said there was a man, I think Bishop Fred or something, that led you to start ministry.
Yes, Bishop Fred Ado was the person who ordained me into ministry, and he was the person who started Power City for us.
Okay, so why is he not your father?
I still relate with him very closely. Very closely.
Okay, so
I still relate with him very.
And then there is this man of God, Orise Jafo or something.
Pastor Ayo.
Pastor Ayo.
Pastor Ayo was my spiritual father when I was, still preaching the prosperity gospel. And we related from 1994 till about 10 years ago.
Oh.
Yes. And what happened was, I don't like talking about this, but what happened was when my emphasis on the teaching of Jesus became much, he called me and he said, well, he discovers that all my teachings now is Jesus. And I said, yes. And he said to me, well, he may not invite me to preach in his church again, and he may not preach for me again. And I said, no, you will preach for me, sir. You will preach for me, because I may not preach for you, but you will preach for me. And I even remember that day after that discourse, I insisted he must give me a date to preach, and he gave me, and he came and he preached. But I observed from then our relationship started having some space. I will call, and he won't answer, and all of that. And that was how that relationship has been on pause. But I still honor and respect him because we related for many years. He's a wonderful person. He's a great person. He's a very nice person to relate with. And he's not done me anything evil. Not one. And I don't think I've done him any evil myself. but it's just that doctrinally we're not able to see eye to eye. That's all.
Okay, so you switched fathers.
I didn't switch. When I was relating with Pastor, I was relating with Bishop Mike also at the same time.
Oh, okay.
So it's not a switching. We don't switch.
Okay.
They're all my relationships, and I still keep them very close to me. But when it comes to core doctrinal relationship, is Bishop Mike.
Wow. Great.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Let's pick it pieces. From the beginning, where he his spiritual father happens to be Orisha Jaffa, one of them, because of prosperity gospel. Because Orisha Jaffa preaches prosperity gospel, kind of that he listened to, he emulate, he loved to listen to, he loved to, build his life after, kind of. So he listened to him, he learned from him, so he wants to preach like him, he wants to do things like him, he wants to, bring people closer to God like that, in times of or preaching to people to make money, how to be blessed when they give, when they tithe, when they do all these things. So that's his father in that aspect. But in terms of God gospel, it is Bishop Michael Okonkwo. And when he gets to maturity in Christ, he started preaching the core gospel, which is centered on Jesus message. And at this point, his spiritual father called him. The one, the Orisha Jaffa, that does the miracle stuff, his prosperity gospel, called him and like, why you have been preaching Jesus every time, Jesus every time. I don't think we'll be able to relate anymore. I don't think we'll be able to relate more because you're preaching Jesus only. So I would like you to, I don't know, maybe you might tell him to switch or change one way or the other. So, but maybe he wouldn't listen. So they had to go their separate ways. And then he said he keeps calling. He doesn't pick. They don't have problem though, but just because he started preaching the gospel of Christ. Only when he started, his message centered all on Jesus. So there's a pause between him and the spiritual father Orisha Jaffa. And now, Michael Okonkwo happens to be a man who, talks more about Jesus and all that, who teaches, I don't know if I've listened more, but I listened to a little bit of him. So I know centered on Jesus a bit, I don't know. So that is why that is person, he holds him accountable. Anything he does, his teacher chastise him, speak to him. Many preachers go to report Damina to him. Many preachers still go to report Damina to him, and then he said whenever they come to report him, he always tell them go and watch his full clips. Then after the word, they don't come back again to report him because they see the different, they see his teaching in details. It is well. So I don't know. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and share. If you've been watching this page, please don't forget. It's very important to share.